subsection 1 allowed for a 90-day campaign period prior to elections, which many political parties utilize to engage the public through open field campaigns. However, an amendment of the Electoral Act in 2022 extended the campaign period to 150 days before elections, as outlined in Section 94, subsection 1. About 60 days to the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, there is growing the current lack of opening elections. Perceived is seen as detrimental to voters' opportunities to meet candidates and understand their ideologies.
They think they already have their strategy, and looking at everybody, sorry to use that word, all of them, I think they're not just serious with it. They just feel it's the usual thing. It's politics as usual. And when it's time, we know how to get these people to vote for us. So basically, I've not seen any seriousness. I've not seen anything that will make people know that, oh, this is the election period. I mean, it's just how many months to the election.
In response to these concerns, representatives from various political parties have indicated that they are employing alternative methods of campaigning to connect with the electorate while awaiting the start of open rallies.
Or we start at the ward level. We start with meetings at the ward level, from there to local government, then proceed to the senatorial, finally at the state, before the campaign will commence in full swing.
We're already running adverts on a number of platforms, radio stations, local stations, and some that are not so local, so to speak, that have coverage across the entire state. And now you and I know that what we used to call mass media, like radio, is not as much of mass like social media space, that in just 1 second you can reach out to more than 1 million people, So the PDP is not taking anything for granted. We have started reaching out to electorates and trying to explain to them why they must choose the PDP option.
The essence of gathering crowd is to make political statement and to create believability in the heart of the people. How many of the people who come to these political parties, actually political rallies, actually listen to the manifesto? And you also, maybe you do not know, that most times when you see some of this crowd, is the same crowd you see in Party A, is the same crowd you see in Party B, is the same set of people you see in Party C. These are political entrepreneurs who actually make money out of campaigns. And I think if you hear any complaint, it may actually be coming from them because they have jerseys of many political parties and they are active players in the corridor of campaign. So if they do not have this opportunity at this point in time, it could lead to some kind of disappointment. But that has not taken away the fact that people are engaging. For us, as a political party, our candidate has engaged across the 203 political wards in Ondo State.
We have been running, campaign in categories. We have house-to-door house campaign, we have mouth-to-mouth campaign, we have open campaign, we have publicity campaign, and all the rest like that. So now the one we are doing now are, one, let me just say, house-to-house campaign, mouth-to-mouth campaign. When it is time for the open campaign, you will usually come up.
Additionally, economic challenges facing the country are believed to contribute significantly to the subdued political atmosphere.
Usually to gather crowd is extremely very expensive. I just came out of a meeting where we call all our coordinators from the 203 wards of Ondo State to Akure. That's quite expensive. So when you look at the expensive nature of the political process and the reality of the economic situation, you will agree with me that everyone is looking for a better alternative of engaging the people. So it's far from the fact that maybe political stakeholders, maybe they do not respect the people of Ondo State. It's just the current economic reality, I think, that has forced people to take to other routes.
If we want to serve the masses, we cannot go and rob to ensure we canvass votes. You understand? So we rather live within our means, within our resources, tell the people this is what we are up for. We are genuine.
Band sets, going around town, campaigning with a lot of fanfare, like it used to be. There used to be this, they will mount megaphones maybe on some buses, some 10, 15, 20 buses will go through the town, announcing PDP or this or that. You know, that has already been greatly reduced by the reality on ground. Reality to the effect that right now, a liter of petrol is selling for 1,150 or 1,200. And if you have to fuel 10 cars on 50 liters per day, just take your calculator and punch what that amounts to.
While some parties are making efforts to engage grassroots electorates, public expectations remain high for opportunities to interact with candidates and evaluate their proposed programs, enabling informed voting decisions. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
We're due for a commercial break. We'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
ẹ máa wo eléyìí ó rò pé òun nìkan ni.
ká sọ tòótọ́ mo ti dára ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá irú obìnrin tí mo jẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀. bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá.
jẹ ìgbádùn ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá dátà àti dátà ìlọ́po méjì ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ohun ìpè Instagram, TikTok, streaming olóhùn àti tàwòrán ìpè Zoom àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
ó ní láti jẹ́ pé ń lálàá ni.
kò tán síbẹ̀ o mo tún jẹ ẹgbẹ̀rún kan náírà ẹ̀bùn ìkíni káàbọ̀ fún ìlò ìpè àti dátà.
gbogbo eléyìí fún bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá.
gba ìláglo rẹ kí o jẹ gbádùn bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ìyẹn ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá rìsáàjì rẹ àjẹmọ́nú ìfà ìkíni káàbọ̀ ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún kan náírà àjẹmọ́nú ìfà ìlọ́po méjì dátà àti ìfà dátà òru tàbí kí o kàn tẹ *301#.
OSRC.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. To our stories now, Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has praised the Speaker of the State House of Assembly Olamide Oladiji for providing educational materials and scholarships to over 1,000 students in Ondo East, Ondo West Federal Constituency. At an event held at the Obade Sonye Civic Center in Ondo City, the governor, represented by his deputy Olayide Adelami, commended Oladiji for going beyond his official duties to meet the needs of his constituents. Capital's correspondent Zimoy Biemi report is presented from our studio.
The people and the students of the Ondo East, Ondo West Federal Constituency celebrated as the representative. Speaker Olamide Oladiji distributed educational materials and scholarships to over 100 students. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, represented by the Deputy Governor Olayide Adelami, commended Oladiji for his efforts to support his constituents. The governor encouraged the public to remember those in need, emphasizing that caregivers will be rewarded by God.
Your dedication to empowering young minds is a beacon of hope for our country. Permit me to state unequivocally that this program is a shining testimony to the significant impact that a philanthropist and public-spirited individual like you can make on the future of our society by empowering secondary school students with educational scholarships, school materials, and cash gifts. It is a worthy investment in the next generation of leaders, innovators, and change makers.
Oladiji highlighted that this second edition of the program alleviates the burden on parents by providing full scholarships and called on wealthy Nigerians to support educational initiatives.
It has become imperative for well-meaning individuals in the society to rally around government in the task of making education accessible to the young ones at our various levels. This is our own little way of ploughing back to the society that made us. While encouraging the lucky beneficiary of this program to use the educational material for the advancement of their educational career, I will equally and humbly too call on well-meaning individuals in Ondo Kingdom to offer similar assistance to the teeming Ondo students.
Omoni Ipis, our 200-level nursing science students at Unimed, expressed gratitude for the speaker's philanthropic gesture. The event culminated in the presentation of checks and distributions of school supplies to benefiting students.
In a bid to stimulate economic growth in the informal sector, the Ondo State government, through the Ondo State Microcredit Agency, has initiated the disbursement of soft loans totaling 220 million naira to support micro, small and medium enterprises. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa emphasized that revitalizing the economy by tackling poverty, unemployment and promoting business growth is a top priority for his administration during the launch of the loan program. Beneficiaries expressed their gratitude for the government's intervention, recognizing its potential impact on their businesses and the local economy. There's more in this report. A filled-to-capacity auditorium at the International Event and Culture Center as various groups in the informal sector gathered for the official flag-off of the disbursement of soft loans to micro, small and medium enterprises by the Ondo State Microcredit Agency. In attendance alongside the business owners are top government officials in the state to witness the disbursement of 220 million naira in the first phase at a single-digit interest rate. Chairman Ondo State Microcredit Agency Adenike Ademujimi highlighted that the scheme aims to revitalize small and medium-scale businesses, aligning with the state government's vision for sustainable development.
The need to benefit from fiscal stimulus and packages and supporting monetary policies, including access to credit, cannot be underestimated. As the state government has patronized the development of medium, small and micro enterprises as they fuel economic growth,
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa was represented by his deputy Olaide Adelami, said the current administration recognizes the integral role of the sector as a key driver of the economy, and providing succor to enhance their operations is key.
9% interest rate. I think the current rate of commercial bank now is about 27%. Our governor has magnanimously, offered this loan at 9%. The state government is very intentional in embracing fair and robust microfinance programs to let the masses have access to funds that will trigger entrepreneurial potential and facilitate wealth-generating capacities of Ondo State citizens.
The acting permanent secretary of the Ondo State Microcredit Agency, Mr. Peter Akingbade, said the agency had interacted with the various groups to enlighten them on updating their business strategies and processes.
4 or 5 months ago, we invited them in thousands to Microcredit Agency. The first thing we did was to have an interface with them, to know the type of jobs they are into, to know the type of trades they engage in, to know an idea of the intricacies of their businesses. We interacted with them. In fact, we also registered them. We looked at their documentation and the rest, and some of them we advised them on how to keep their records in a simple way.
Commissioner for Commerce, Industry and Cooperative Services, Olusegun Ayeri, represented by the Ministry's Permanent Secretary Tony Oni, underscored the importance of the loan repayment.
This fund is not a national cake to consume. Rather, it is a national cake in form of share of wealth to create and to recreate wealth.
During the symbolic presentation of checks, an 80 million naira check was presented to the Ondo State Artisans Group. The Orimiso Group received 10 million naira, while 22.5 million naira each was disbursed to the Progressive Traders Association and the Micro Business Organization. The beneficiaries lauded the government for the intervention.
Very happy. We are happy. We thank Mr. Governor for what he has done for us.
I commend the effort of Mr. Governor. We are going to use the money judiciously.
Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Artisan Matters, Daisy Komolafe, pledged the support of those in the informal sector to the Ayedatiwa administration. The event also featured a cultural display by the Ondo State Cultural Troupe to preach against collecting the loan for other purposes aside business.
Invest it in a business.
Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News. The chairman of the Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation, Osrc, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, says that the media organization will leverage the expertise of professionals to achieve global standards. He emphasized that collaboration with stakeholders is essential for fostering development during the meeting with members of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Osrc chapter, who came calling at the Orital Bele complex in Akure. Osrc's Abidemi Akinrotoye has more. Retirees from Osrc visited their former workplace as part of their post-service engagement, creating a nostalgic atmosphere filled with laughter and excitement. The visit allowed them to reconnect with current staff and share their experiences.
People by professionals of high integrity.
Chairman of the Union of Pensioners, Emmanuel Adumashi, emphasized the purpose of their visit.
May I, sir, plead most passionately that we must begin a new relationship. This is our hope. If I retire from service, I cannot go to this application or go to a Cathedral's office. I'll come here like I'm here now. So I want to put it before you. The press center where we hold our meetings belongs to the Nigerian Union of Journalists. We as pensioners, we have Nigerian journalists as part of us who are part owner of that place. But must we not have a place of our own where anybody who retires here will feel a sense of belonging, like we're having a plot of land and the compound to build a UP center. All of us, it will be easier for us to interact with you, to interact together, to interact with the public, and help programming, engineering. There's a number of people who have retired from service.
The pensioners chairman praised Osrc management for its progress and also offered advice to upcoming retirees.
I've not been here for a long time. But when I came for an interview that day, in honor of the burial of my boss, I was checking around. I was quite amazed that you have achieved so much technically, administratively, and professionally. I could see the studios, state of the art, the management of the facilities. I was impressed. Osrc has transformed from the current base to the achievement days now.
Chairman of Osrc, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, celebrated the retirees' contributions, acknowledging their role in the organization's heritage.
Closer ties. We must build a closer relationship that borders on bonding. These elder statesmen have served their state through our corporation for the better part of their working years. They've devoted the entirety of their adult life to serve the corporation. We believe we have a lot to gain from their experience because we believe they are extremely experienced individuals, especially in this very special field of human endeavor which broadcasting is. So we have promised them that we will make available a piece of land where they can build a pensioner's house. But we have also said in the interim, before that is done, we are going to make available a space for them from all our existing structures. We are going to rehabilitate, make available a space where they can use in the interim until we are able to work together to build a befitting pensioners' house for this great organization. We have also said that some of them who still feel agile, strong, and absolutely encouraged to still do a few things in broadcasting, we will make our doors open for them. Some have indicated desires to support us as backroom staff for our news operations. Some have said to us that they are still fit to do programs. Some have said that they are not fit to do either of those two, but they are fit and ready enough to point in the direction of where we can get talents. We intend to seize those advantages, work with them to make sure that those things are achieved.
He committed to addressing the concerns and encourage current staff to maintain high standards.
My advice to officers who are still in service in this corporation is to work smartly, to do smart work, and put all they have into this job. It never fails.
Building on the success of this visit, Osrc aims to strengthen engagement with its former employees. The presidency has confirmed that President Bola Tinubu will soon rejig his cabinet. However, it said the exercise will be based on the empirical evidence from performance reports the president has received in the past months. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, and the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Digital and New Media, Mr. Ortega Ogra, revealed this during the joint press briefing at the Osrc Villa, Abuja. Onanuga said although there is no timeline for the pending reshuffle, Mr. Ogra on his part said the decision would not be arbitrary, but will be based on performance reports presented by the Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination and heads Central Delivery Coordination Unit, Adiza Bala Osman. The Senate has confirmed the appointment of Justice Kudirat Kekereekun as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Kekereekun is the country's 23rd occupant of the head of the judicial arm of government and the second female appointed to the seat. President Bola Tinubu had earlier forwarded a name to the Senate for screening and confirmation. Outside Nigeria, Aberdeen homeowners are threatening legal action after being told the value of their properties could be halved because of potentially deadly concrete. More than 500 homes in Aberdeen are said to be demolished and reconstructed as part of the UK's biggest wreck-affected housing project. To end the news tonight, another look at the major stories. We told you that the Ondo State government has launched disbursement of 220 million naira soft loan to support micro, small and medium enterprises in the bid to stimulate economic growth in the informal sector. That's the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Good evening.